Well, you know, maybe it saved you from a hurricane.
That's a nice way to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You really want to get back.
I wasn't back on that. Thank you for that.
Same name as my boy. Your father. Same story.
Just 86.
That's good.
A very life, let's put it that way. Married 3 times.
Really?
My mother died when he was in his 50s, when he married when he was going to spend like 14 or 15 years, and then when she died, he lived alone for a while, and then suddenly Jewish wife. He had Marshall, and they got married, so he got married 3 times. I never really met the other third one very much, because I was already married. He looked after himself brilliantly.
Make sure he was looked after.
That's for the nearest port.
I just want to mention something to you. I don't know whether I should mention this or not.
Hello.
My daughter went to Lesbos yesterday, right? And this is the most remarkable thing because the kids there are from Afghanistan and there's no education. There's a group that's starting education now to try people coming to different countries. Guess what they call themselves? Mosaic. So I'm just wondering,
That's great.
would it be
Like sisters, brothers. Send a note to Daniel Brown or to me. We'll bring it up to council. And we have extra funds from the pilot.
How strict she says to me, she says to me, I'm quite willing to give a little talk. But she said, I can't think of it because she says,
Wonderful. I could also connect her with, I know a Syrian woman here who represents artists who are still in Syria, and she worked for the UN for years on Lesbos. So if she wants to connect with her, that's easy. Her name is Manos. She's great. So
I just thought, what coincidence, and we could do something for her.
there you go. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I can mention it to the mosque as well, and we should do it together.
They're from, apparently this one's from Afghanistan.
Sure. No, that's a wonderful idea.
been through it all. I like my water, but it's going to be nice. It's so important to me. The whole life in the summer. And as I wake up in the morning, I see
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you for braving the cold temp. It's a beautiful day. And Shabbat shalom and Chag Sameach Hanukkah. And we're on page 129. 129. Truth and of the impulse within us towards justice and mercy. May this hour of worship be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Let the words we speak enter our hearts and influence our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in search of you or in need of comfort and consolation. May the offering of their hearts be acceptable to you, and may the prayers we utter here bear fruit and acts of kindness, peace, and love. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You sanctify us with your commandments and enjoin us to study your teachings. With what shall I approach the eternal one?
How shall I worship the God of heaven?
Shall I come before God with burnt offerings?
Or with yearly vows?
Will God be pleased with thousands of rams?
Or with 10,000 rivers of oil?
Should I give my firstborn for my transgressions?
Fruit of my body for the sins of my soul.
People tell you what is good, but what does the Eternal One require of you?
Only to do justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God.
These are actions which bring benefit here and now, but whose full value can be measured only in the light of eternity. Honoring one's father and mother, acts of love and kindness, diligent pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, hospitality to strangers, visiting the sick, enabling bride and groom to rejoice, consoling the bereaved, praying with sincerity, and making peace where there is strife, and the study of Torah is the law. Eternal God, may the words of Torah taste sweet to us and all Israel, that we and our children and all the children of your people may come to know you by studying Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of your people Israel. Baruch sha'amar v'haya ha'olam baruchu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Amahulal b'fi amo, meshubach mifar b'lshon chasidav v'avadav. Bishvachot v'smirot, legadelcha v'namiyecha malkeinu, yachidchei ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai melech ha'olam v'tishvachot. Sing for joy to the Eternal One, you who are righteous. Give thanks to the Eternal One with the lyre.
Make music to God with the 10-string harp.
Sing to God a new song.
Play well with shouts of joy.
For God's word holds good.
God's every deed is done in faithfulness.
The Eternal One loves righteousness and justice.
The earth is full of God's kindness.
By the Eternal One's word the heavens were made.
And all their hosts by the breath of God's mouth.
At the divine command the ocean waves rise.
Gathering stead in the vaults of the deep.
Let all the earth revere the Eternal One.
Let all that dwell there stand in awe of God.
Who spoke and it was.
Who commanded and it stood earth.
How shall I sing of day and night when it is God who formed them? How shall I sing of heaven and earth when it is God who founded them? How shall I sing of mountains and hills when it is God who planted them? How shall I sing of deserts and seas when it is God who begot them? How shall I sing of earth and her fullness when it is God who bade them be? I shall sing of the one who fashioned them all, the one who is above them all, God, God alone. I shall sing.
Hallelujah, Hallelujah, because show, Hallelujah, because
Kadosh Bashamayim Uvaretz, Ki Lachana Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu, Shirush Vacha, Halel V'Zimra, Brachot V'Hodaot, Me'ata V'Adolam,
Baruch atah Adonai, Abocher V'Zirei Zimra,
Baruchu Et Adonai HaTorah. Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei choshech, osei shalom uvorei et hakol. Ameir la'aretz v'lagarim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh b'reshit. Ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, v'laharetz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, Va'al ma'orei or she'asita, Yafa'arucha selak. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you taught them the laws of God. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching, and make us faithful to your commandments, and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you've called your people Israel to serve you. Please stand. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. Established and enduring are these words now and forever. True it is, eternal one, that you are sovereign God and Redeemer. As you are the God and Redeemer of our ancestors, you are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper, our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. And then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. A new song the redeemed sang to your name at the shore of the sea. With one accord they gave thanks and proclaimed your sovereignty. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Or V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasei Avot V'Imahot, V'Mevi G'Rula Livnei B'Neihem, L'Ma'an Shmo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chai Metim Atah Rab L'Hoshia, Mashiach HaRuach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid Atah, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayim Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Profet Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Giborot, Umi Domelach, Melech Meimitum Chaye Umatzliach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atal HaChayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim. We sanctify your name on earth, as in the prophet's vision, the hosts of heaven sing your praise above. For so it is written,
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sabaoth, Melech haaretz kadosh.
Kevodo Malei Olam.
Baruch Kavod Adonai, B'Yimachol.
Nimkomecha Malkeinu Tofia, V'tim Loch Aleinu, Ki Mechakim Anachnu Lach.
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Adonai, Hallelujah.
From generation to generation we will make known your greatness. To the end of time we will proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O our God, shall never depart from our lips. We praise you, eternal one, the holy God. And please be seated. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to your influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness. Consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
Yismachu b'malchutcha, Yismachu b'malchutcha, Shamay Shamas, V'kodei Oneg, V'kol Sheshvi, V'kol Sheshvi, Kulam Yismachu, V'yitzangu Mituvecha, V'chashvi,
May our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Let's say, Adonai Eloheinu b'amecha Yisrael, u'tfilatam b'hava tekabel, u'ti ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadecha v'yirah ha'avot, modim anachnu lach. Sha'atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayinu magen yishenu, atahu l'dor v'dor. Nodeh lecha u'nsaper tilatecha. Al chayenu hamizrim biyadecha, v'al nishmotenu hapokadot lach, v'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha b'tovatecha, Baboker et Soharayim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha U'Lecha Na'el Hodot. Grant peace, welfare, blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, love of kindness and righteousness, blessing, mercy, life, and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Turn over to page 481 for our chorus service. There is none like you, Eternal One, among the gods people worship. And there are no deeds like yours. Your sovereignty is everlasting. Your reign endures from age to age. Eternal One, you reign, you have reigned, you will reign forever. Eternal God, give strength to your people. Eternal God, bless your people with peace. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Eternal One is our God, the Eternal God is one. Let us magnify the Eternal One. Together, let us exalt God's name.
Hallelujah.
Today I'll be reading from Kate's Genesis 41, verses, I believe it's 15 to 33 or so, in the Soncino 254, and in the JPSA, page 65. So this is the wonderful Torah reading of Joseph interpreting Pharaoh's dream. This brilliant economic forecaster. I wish we had someone like him in the government today. Who knows what's going to happen? So I don't know what kinds of dreams the Prime Minister is having that need interpreting, but where is Joseph when we need him? Sorry? Yeah. Oh, poor woman. Yeah, so that's on one level. The other level is I feel emotional about this today because 50 years ago this month was my bar mitzvah in this Torah reading. Not only that, it's Miriam's birthday today, and it's her Torah reading too. But being a member of the younger generation, she's chosen to spend the morning at the spa and meet her boyfriend for lunch. So what can I say? The younger generation, they don't want to be with their altacockers in synagogues, so that's the way it is. But a really extraordinary Torah reading and quite difficult in a way. And, it's no wonder that Freud was Jewish, because this is an utterly and totally Freudian interpretation that he gives. Maybe a little Jungian too. But psychotherapy and Jews and dreams. And people in those days, from what we understand, really believed that having a dream was being visited by God. And that there was some kind of, let's call it mysterious communication or insight. Now, we're secular. We would call that, at best, the unconscious. Some would call it a collective unconscious. Some would say it's something maybe a little spiritual. But dreams are incredibly special. And like Freud, Joseph says, this dream, the same dream has happened twice, which means, it really means something. So, there you go. So, I've given the page numbers, yeah.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai notein ha'Torah.
And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I've had a dream, but no one can interpret it. Now I have heard it said of you that for you to hear a dream is to tell its meaning. Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, Not I. God will see to Pharaoh's welfare. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, In my dream, I was standing on the bank of the Nile, when out of the Nile came up 7 sturdy and well-formed cows and grazed in the reed grass. Presently there followed them 7 other cows, scrawny, ill-formed, and emaciated. Never had I seen their likes for ugliness in all the land of Egypt. And the 7 lean and ugly cows ate up the first 7 cows, the sturdy ones. But when they had consumed them, one could not tell that they had consumed them, for they looked just as bad as before. And I awoke. In my dream I saw 7 ears of grain, full and healthy, growing on a single stalk. But right behind them sprouted 7 ears, shriveled, thin, and scorched by the east wind. And the thin ears swallowed the 7 healthy ears. I have told my magicians, but none has an explanation for me. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, Pharaoh's dreams are one and the same. God has told Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 healthy cows are 7 years, and the 7 healthy ears are 7 years. It is the same dream. The 7 lean and ugly cows that followed are 7 years, as are also the 7 empty ears scorched by the east wind. They are 7 years of famine. It is just as I have told Pharaoh. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he's about to do. Immediately ahead are 7 years of great abundance in all the land of Egypt. After them will come 7 years of famine, and all the abundance in the land of Egypt will be forgotten. As the land is ravaged by famine, no trace of the abundance will be left in the land because of the famine thereafter, for it will be very severe. As for Pharaoh having had the same dream twice, it means that the matter has been determined by God and that God will soon carry it out. Vayomer Paro el Yosef, Chalom chalamti, ufoter ein otav. V'ani shamati alecha lemor, tishma chalom liftor otav. V'ya'an Yosef et Paro lemor. Biladai, Elohim ya'aneh et shlom Paro. V'daber Paro el Yosef, v'chalomi hineni omed al sfata yor. V'hinei min hayor olot sheva parot briot basar vifot tovar v'tirena v'achu v'hinei sheva parot acherot olot achrehem dalot v'raot tovar ma'od v'rakot basar lo ra'iti kahena b'chol eretz Mitzrayim la'roa v'tolchana haparot harakot v'haraot et sheva haparot harishonot habriot v'tovana el kirbena v'lo noda ki ba'u el kirbena umarehen ra ka'asher batchila va'ikatz va'ere v'chalomi v'hinei sheva shibalim olot b'keneh echad leot v'tovot V'hinei sheva shibalim tzinumot dakot shedufot kadim tzomchot achreihem. V'tivlana hashibalim hadakot et sheva hashibalim tovot. V'omar el hachartumim ve'ein magidli. V'yomer Yosef el Paro. Chalom Paro echad. Hu et asher Elohim Oseh agid lefaro sheva parot hatovot sheva shanim hena v'sheva hashibalim hatovot sheva shanim hena chalom echad hu v'sheva haparot harakot haraot haolot achreihen sheva shanim hena v'sheva hashibalim harakot shedufot hakadim yihu Sheva Shnei Ra'av Hu Hadavar Asher Dibarti El Paro Asher Elohim Oseh Her'a et Paro Hinei Sheva Shanim Ba'ot Sava Gadol B'chol Eretz Mitzrayim V'kamu Sheva Shnei Ra'av Achrehen V'nishkach Kol HaSava B'Eretz Mitzrayim V'chila Hara'av et ha'aretz, v'lo yevada hasava ba'aretz, mitnei hara'av hahu achreichem, ki kaved hu ma'od, v'al hishanot hachalom el paro pa'amayim, ki nachon hadavar me'im ha'elohim, u'mimaher Elohim la'asoto.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai notei haTorah.
And let's stand.
Baruch shenatan Torah le'amor Yisrael b'kedushato.
Please be seated.
Today's Haftarah is from the first book of Kings, chapter 3, verses 15 to 28. You can find it on page 275 of the Sonsina Chumash page 8522 of the JPS Tanakh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'cha b'nve'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher v'torah uva Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'vinvi'eh ha'evet v'tzedek. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants. Then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after I was delivered, and this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlay it. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me, while thy handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, and behold, it was dead. But when I had looked well at it in the morning, behold, it was not my son whom I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spoke before the king. Then said the king, the one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is dead. And the other saith, Nay, but thy son is dead, and my son is living. And the king said, Fetch me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in 2, and give half to the one and half to the other. Then spoke the woman whose the living son was unto the king, for her heart yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, It shall be neither mine nor thine, divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise way slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do justice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, su'akol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol ha'durot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oseh, ha'madaber u'makayem, shekol devarev, emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanavi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu lekadusha u'limnucha lekavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la u'makarikim ota Yit barash shimha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai makadesh ha'shabbat.
On page 484, eternal God whose dominion embraces the universe. We ask your blessing for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity. Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders, its members, and all who enter this synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us and heal those in anxiety or pain. And we continue to be aware of, like Solomon, the son of Janet and Alan, and also Mandy, Harold and Phyllis's son, and Stephen's sister. And we wish all of you strength, and just take one step at a time. And Barry Goodman, Trudy Goodman, and Ray Lubert, and I must be leaving somebody out. Vivian Schreier, I'll be seeing her in a few days. And is there anybody I've missed?
Helena Stone.
Helena Stone continues to be so ill.
My cousin Nikki Anthony.
Yeah, Nikki Anthony. Any other members or friends, loved ones?
Maureen and Alvin.
Miller, yeah. May we all find here community, friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the house of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed. And may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will. Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel. Created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbors, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem. Hallelujah, Shem Adonai, Ki Nesgav Shemo Levado. Let us praise the Eternal One, whose name alone is exalted. Teaching is perfect. God's word is unfailing. God's precepts are right. God's commandments are clear. God's doctrine is pure. God's guidance is true. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. So we wish our leaders this coming week the wisdom of Joseph, the wisdom of Solomon, And I, for one, pray that there's some elaborate and sophisticated game of bluff going on, like what King Solomon was doing with two harlots. Senses a baby would live. So, let's see. Okay, just a few words about Hanukkah. I'll make it brief today, I think. Bless you. The real conflict that was going on at the time was between Jew and Jew. It wasn't specifically about the oppression of the Seleucids, that is, the Syrian Greeks. It was what we Jews do to each other, how we abuse each other after we've been abused by somebody else. So, dysfunctional families. So, I tell a very brief tale that nothing seems to change. Some of you may know the rabbi of Wembley United. He's been wanting to join the Brent Multi-Faith Forum recently. So the chair, my dear colleague, Reverend Dr. Leo Neto, and my dear friend Tassin Mehar, our administrator, went off to meet this rabbi. And he proceeded to throw a tantrum that I and we, as liberal Jews, don't represent in any way the Jewish people, because we don't believe in the absolute divine revelation that occurred on Mount Sinai, a fundamentalist view. And moreover, he attacked me and us as doing Hitler's work, as being self-hating Jews, as being capos. So my colleagues were dumbfounded. And furthermore, he asked them if they believed in the divine revealing of the Torah on Mount Sinai. And luckily, Leo had the presence of mind to say, well, wait a minute. You're engaging in a reverse kind of inquisition here. On the Multi-Faith Forum, we have different kinds of Christians, different kinds of Muslims, and all kinds of horrible stuff goes on in the world. And yet we all sit here, we all work together, Catholics, Protestants, Sunni, Shias, and all the rest of it. But he said the only way he would join the Multi-Faith Forum is if I came off, if we weren't involved. So they sent him away. So Leo and I had a discussion on Thursday, and my response was, so why should we be any better than Christians and Muslims? We're not any better than you guys. So there we are. The same old stuff continues. And also there's Mark Phillips' daughter, Joanna, a very brilliant and lovely young lady, is running for president of the Jewish Students Union, I guess, Union of Jewish Students. And she's being attacked by people from the right, similar words, as being a capo. And she's seeking support for getting this all day long. So we turn on each other. Nothing is new. And so this Hanukkah, how can we celebrate Hanukkah? What's it all about? We know the story of the oil to be made up by the rabbis. It's a nice little fairy tale. Nothing wrong with it. Fairly innocuous. So how can we celebrate Hanukkah? It takes over from various pagan things, as does Christmas. So what do? And I think it's this, that despite the odds being against you, no guarantee whatsoever of success or victory or even winning an argument or anything at all, the courage to carry on and to light that spark that spark maybe turns into a flame. I mean, it sounds a little trite in a way, but that's really what it is. If you're in mourning, if you're bereaved, or if you're feeling tired or blue from the darkness of winter, you put one foot in front of the other and you turn that spark into a flame. And that's what it is to be a good Jew, regardless of denomination. And that's what it is to be a ganzer Mensch, just a decent Mensch. So that's my Hanukkah message. Light the candle, watch it glow, feel some warmth, give your loved ones and friends a couple of nice prezzies, and eat that greasy food. Don't worry about the cholesterol. And brighten up everybody's winter, and know that we have friends out there that are Christians and Muslims who really support what we try to do.
Hanukkah in the sky, Pacho Candelas Hanukkah in the sky, Pacho Candelas Una candelica, dos candelica, tres candelica, cuatro candelica, siete candelica, seis candelica, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Muchas fiestas va a hacer, con alegrías y placer. Muchas fiestas va a hacer, con alegrías y placer. Candelicas, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, siete candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Los pastelicos para comer, con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos para comer, con almendricas y la miel. Candelicas, candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, siete candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. Ocho candelas para mí.
Lovely.
Wow. Candles for me? Wow. What's the story behind that?
It's Latino, so it's Flori Jagoda. It's a modern, I don't know when he wrote it, 40s, 50s. It's secular Ladino Hanukkah song.
Absolutely wonderful. Anybody think about bringing some castanets or something? Absolutely wonderful. Great. So let's turn over to page 520 and let's stand for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula v'yotzer bereshit, asher sam chalkeinu liyached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lahamlich malchuto.
V'anachnu koranim, u'mishaharim, u'modim, Yivrei melech malchei halayim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shavu noteh shamayim v'yosed aretz, Moshav yekaro b'shamayim imahal, U'shchinatu zo v'govhei meromein, Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet malkeinu efesulato, Kakatu v'torato, V'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, Ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim ima'al, V'haaretz mitachat ein od. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your light, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule. When all will invoke your name, relinquish evil and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honor. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written,
The Eternal One shall reign forever. Life is finite. Like a candle, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but then it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. And in our community, we remember our loved ones. B.T. Applebaum, Morris Bronstein, and Maureen, we wish you strength and long life as you remember your dear father, Louis Burlam, Minnie Himmelfarb, Pauline Cooperman, Peter Murray, Herbert Olshavsky, Ari Roos, and Rosemary, we wish you strength and long life as you remember your mum, Madeleine Rubens. We remember Marta Schatz, and Ursula, Allison, and Jennifer, as you remember your beloved husband and father, Henry Warner. We wish you all strength and long life and only good things. And also I'm thinking about a man who came to visit us when we needed a bit of support after this massacre in Pittsburgh. A lovely man, a friend of Sohel. I don't know his surname, but I know him as Brother Ismail, who came and sat in the front row. He passed away suddenly in Madagascar this week. Very supportive, lovely man who was very warm-hearted whenever we came to the Wembley Central Mosque. And would anyone like to mention the name of a loved one or friend?
Yes. Peter Hufscher, for 47 years the husband of my cousin Tanya in Manchester.
Wish you all strength.
Much loved by the whole family, a gentle person.
Yes.
And I would still like to mention my son Anthony,
Your son
and my
Anthony.
mother, and my father, his daughter.
Wish you strength and long life. Yet in the emptiness there, wrong one. Yet we do not despair, for we know that we are more than a flickering flame. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and light, of death and life. As in our hearts we name our loved ones, we pray that the divine presence will comfort us and all who mourn. And we read together. Yitgadal Yitkadash Rabba, La'alma Divrach Yerutei Yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon Yomechon, V'chayei Nechol Beit Yisrael, V'galav Yizman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Memorach Le'olam V'lamei L'maya, Yitzbarak V'ishtabak V'tfar V'terlam V'naseh, V'tadar V'taleh V'talal Shemei Kudusha B'richu, Ve'elo min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, aminar b'amma b'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yol kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imruma, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yol kol Yisrael, v'yol kol b'nei adam, v'imru, amen. Please be seated. Let me guess, Ain Kelahani to the tune of Rock of Ages or something?
No, it's not. So there's a weird Anglo-Jewish tradition to do Ein Kelohenu on Shabbos Hanukkah to see the conquering hero from Handel's Judas Maccabeus.
Oh.
And you'll know the tune. I like certain Anglo-Jewish tradition, so I like to uphold these things.
And not the Tango of Slaves or anything like that? Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's still kind of heavy. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kelohenu.
you nice salt beef and latkes and gatkes and everything else on Shabbat Chanukah. For those who are vegetarians, enjoy your applesauce and sour cream on your latkes. Right, Shabbat Shalom. Downstairs, they're still on the Huff toilets, so you're looking at probably 25 to 30 minutes. I give you dispensation if you wish to go home and have lunch now, or if you wish to stay. I have a feeling I might head for some salt beef, personally.
May I make
Yeah.
He's got people leaving shore and going down to Temple because he's insulting the people there. Let him. Right?
Yeah.
So I think he's exceptional because he actually shouts in the congregation about driving to shore. Well, no rabbi does that.
May I make an announcement?
Thank you.
First of all, Mazel Tov, Frank,
Thank you,
on
thank you.
your imminent birthday.
My junior Alta status.
And I must say, considering you've read it so many times, you still read it very, very well, your portion.
Well, there was a mistake I think I've made in previous years. I just discovered, and I read it a little better this year.
And may I also make a plea? I received a beautiful Siddur some years ago from the Coens, and I have mislaid it.
Leather bound.
Leather bound with a lovely inscription in the front. If anybody sees it, please return to Ola, because I really don't know what happened to it. I think it got muddled up with all the books last week when I was shamusing. And
A Siddur amnesty.
if you do know where it is, bring it back to me. Thank you so much.
Okay, and before we have to pack up all our bits, if the planning permission, if everything else goes through sometime this year, we'll have a Siddur amnesty and a Tanakh amnesty. So anything that found its way into your car or at home or left luggage somewhere, bring it all in and all is forgiven. So I give you all dispensation, whatever you want to do. You're all adults. You can stay, you can go. It doesn't matter.
Have you looked in the library?
Sorry?
Have you looked in the library? Well, if you last week was food bank kiddish. Food bank kiddish. So maybe it's
This isn't yours. I'm interested. It is. Yes, yes.
It's not that anyone's got here.
Yeah. It's really for children, isn't it?
I know it's not announced, but it is somebody else.
Yeah.
When? No, we have that before, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm not reading that long, so I don't know.
Police commanders.
Well, there's more than three. We had about
I'm not going to stop him. So when he finished, I managed to say some silly other things.
in memory of my son, because he built the
He's one of 300.
he spent halfway
So
bringing
he's
it
not well.
and 4 weeks later,
He's emotionally,
then he
there's
died. So I did a course about
I feel reassured by what
related
you
arms
said.
and therapeutic check with it. But it's just cost me 10,000 pounds so far. I did it
Good sanity check.
I've got some very good friends.
and then containers.
So united for how long?
Okay, well, you gave me a sign. Really.
It will come back again. And I wish you the faith is there. I wish
You know,
strength will do
you
that.
should read Haaretz, you know, the Israeli paper. Jews do that to each other every day in Israel.
There is a lady and that
They do it to each other in Israel every single day. That's what led to the murder of Rabin. You know, calling him an SS, and Netanyahu was the one that led the first. And he's about to be indicted for it's, you know, why should we be any better than anybody else? We should be, but we're not. So we're
Teach the joy organisation, and then say someone else has to be under it in order to do it. It's like, that's not how it works. The Wembley guy.
Count our blessings. And to you, lights and gifts, too much food is horrible. You'll be here during the Christmas
Okay.
So will you be doing midnight mass?
Usually I take speech usually. Very close to me. But I don't represent any vote, church vote, in any circumstances. I'm somewhere at the limit. I can do, but I officially you need to be accepted by the church.
As you say,
And her very slightly
I read, I study, maybe when his wife gone, I still got some support in the community. Yes, because it's very close to my house. They have, his parents are still there. They printed them. All the nice strangers,
But they will be much so much about
Well, we need to combine knowledge with many people they have knowledge, but they don't. There is a really nice guy. I want to use my knowledge, using everything in a better way. That is very perfect. I remember I remember like Phil Austin.
I really still go to
Yes, because okay, yeah, I was inspired by this speaking to do. And he puts word, Holy Spirit, word, knowledge, and the words of the outdoor when they build it. It's not a human effort, it's a
crumbles down, go over 3-4 times, you know, and they get leaks.
Fresh.
It's still
So
valid.
you don't know about Messiah.
They're still nursing this along.
But you know, the whole obsession
Let's turning now to philosophy.
relationships, activities, pleasantness, kindness. That's really what it should be about. And that's what we're about, humble and wise. So it's
Shall we go over?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. It's really, I've been admiring it. I've got a jacket that I got years and years ago. It's not as good as that.
Try on to think about it.
Silver, all wrapped in
I
gold.
don't do numbers anymore.
But the thing is, I keep forgetting about it and I never will.
more like which would be, especially this shoe,
Yes.
they are so.
So you're a
You go to the Kiddush
You're all right.
I have a lot of friends from Jamaica.
So I'll have to go down.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I told you this.
I need to go to the, can I go to the toilet here?
Well, I mean,
So you are the member of the church or the synagogue?
We went to
You are a member of the synagogue, not of the church. Okay, you are a Jew.
on the way to Tarrytown.
100%. 100% Jew.
Service on Saturday.
100% Jew.
Christian. So we roll
Mixed.
off. This is a month after Christmas. We know security and there's a few people in the foyer, we say hello, Shabbat Shalom, each other's. And there's one lady who's like slightly afraid to know that Shabbos, how are you? But nobody heard our accent. I mean, nobody said, are you strangers, are you visiting, where are you from, nothing. We went into the sanctuary, we found books, we sat down. The rabbi was away, they had a chazanit, and she was actually very, very good, really enjoyed the service. But they do the inviting, they drink the kiddush from the wine, like soon after the service starts.
Me too.
But anyway, at the end of the service,
Today, to be old-fashioned is out of mode, out of society.
but you understand around
You don't live in contemporary era.
Shabbat Shalom to the Christian. Shabbat Shalom, that's it. You walk into this other room, with laid out coffee.
To me, old-fashioned is respect.
But we stood there for about 10 seconds.
Respect for life, respect for God, first of all.
So we just and I was really, really surprised. So, because I found this community on the internet, I went back onto their website and contact us. So I put a note that I just said to you. Have I heard back from you? No. And the funny thing is, please God, we'll be going there often. Right? Not there. So we'll go there. There's another opportunity to go to. I remember sorting Erev Shabbat last night.
And do you have an answer? Do you have an answer in regards with the text from the scripture from this morning? Do you have an answer? How Joseph was able to interpret the dreams? Give me an answer.
Well, I'd be curious.
It was Joseph who found the truth,
So
or
basically,
it was
one yid
God
says hello to another yid.
in
You know,
Is that
Remember Solomon was
Jewish
young
stories
and he
in the
couldn't think
library?
for himself, whatever, he was experienced as a king. And he says, give me wisdom. Yes,
No
and
markings
everything
at
he did, he
all.
had to
So
pass
give me
it.
wisdom from God.
Yes, to give him
Okay.
wisdom.
Never
Everything
saw it
he had
before.
to do.
So it was
I'm innocent.
God who put wisdom into Joseph for him.
Yes.
What the find? What's
Yes.
this?
And to
Answers
discern
to
Is this
everything.
here?
The
Essence of
instructions.
the
No,
dreams.
no.
To give him the instructions.
That's your dad,
Yes.
isn't it?
You see, because
No.
he did it inside the prison and not just with Pharaoh. So then they were able to go out and release him because of that.
Okay.
You see.
Right. Somebody has brought these to go to the cemetery.
Yeah, I think so.
But, yeah. Nobody keeps. Yeah, that's what this is. I'll put this in my office.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
dear
happy
Robert
birthday.
Frankie. I don't
you.
forget.
Yeah, I'm going to be
And I'm glad
63.
Miriam, well, I beat you, I'm 70.
Yeah.
And,
You look great.
Miriam, hard work and stress. More
Yeah,
like it.
well, you know.
Lots of stress in it.
You just
I
keep
lost,
putting,
I
keep
lost 2
laughing.
containers down there, but I have to go back and get the 12 boys off the street
Yeah.
to actually do. But I've managed to let the government now implement the child protection is here
Good.
properly.
Good.
So there's no child slave labor, no
Oh, I know, it's
beating.
terrible.
Well, that's changed now. The killing still goes on, though, with the young people. We have 8 women who killed, one this week, who went to sort out her house from Islington.
Ay,
and
ay,
They just killed her and buried her in her side.
Oh my God.
They do that a lot. It's changed a lot. It's not anybody who goes home now for holidays or sorting out to retirement. They just seem to kill them. They did the whole couple, and it's just all about money.
This
money.
is a devil legacy. Devil
That's
legacy.
That
terrible.
is what's happening.
Oh,
I
just
just not
terrible.
to assume that she knew that's why there wasn't the verbal.
But, I have to watch myself when I go there.
Thank you.
And
Have a
you
good week.
guys have to
Take care. I'll see you guys next Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
Take care.